folks, right now we're going to jump over to our man Basil Chapman. You can check out Basil's opening call right on the front page at TFNN.com right now, folks. You can see the opening call here. You click on that banner. You can subscribe for 90 days, a month for $149. 6 months for $6.95, you save 22%. A year is $11.95, you save 33%. And like we always say, folks, if you're going to keep it and you're even thinking about it, think about signing up longer term because you get a 30-day money-back guarantee with all of them. Basil Chapman, good afternoon.
Hi, Tommy. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, Basil, I always think about you on the Dow, and I have to quite a day for the Dow today. And as I'm jumping through it, I'm saying, my goodness, these stocks in the Dow, I'm looking at the list right now, Basil. Maybe we can start it off there because the Dow is having quite a day today, especially as we get some red in some of the tech equities. But boy, how about this Dow, man?
So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, in fact, I did want to bring up the Dow. The Dow is not, the S&P and the QQQs at all-time highs. The Dow was, just 3 days ago, it was over 1,000 points below, more than 1,000 points below its all-time high. All of a sudden, it's less than 500 points. And one of the reasons why over the years, I've made a daily call on the Dow, maybe for 40 years or something, and I do that for subscribers every day. And the reason why I use the Dow is that the mix of the Dow at this particular point especially really matches so well the economy at any particular stage. So it might lag at times, but the fact is it's got those components that are important. You can see right now that it's doing so well. It's up 464 points. So I have a left side, right side price time match. I didn't even think we'd get there. That comes in early next week where it could test, or it's before early next week. 45,073 will be the target. But at the same time, for subscribers, I've been saying that the last 3-4 days, I'm saying I'm getting a little cautious here because some of the icons that I look at are getting either into leg Ds or they are at all time. We've got 5 or 6 positions in our, I call it a portfolio, but it's the positions that we have long that are at all-time highs or very close to all-time highs. And I'm getting a little nervous about that. So the Dow, the fact that it suddenly came alive today, and in a way, I have to just think of it purely technically and say, well, now it's playing catch-up to the general market, to the S&P and the QQQ. So the fact that you've got this mix, suddenly you've got a biotech, you've got Amgen, you've got Home Depot. This is this is core to the economy. This is really important, and I'll talk about it tomorrow morning in my show at 10 o'clock, the Tiger Technicians Hour. I mentioned that this morning, that all of a sudden I'm looking at a stock like Builder. BLDR is the symbol. Builder's First Source, Materials, Products, Resources, having a fabulous move going to that leg D, but after a huge decline from the 200 area down to 100, cut in half, and now it's coming back. It looks terrible on the monthly chart and the weekly, but look at this daily chart, and I was speaking about this in my show recently about Toll Brothers, that maybe it's telling us something about yields or the anticipation of yields, because it's had from the 200 period moving average at just under 90 a few weeks ago. Here it is at 118. When you look at the big picture, going from the 106 to 170 area down to getting cut in half down to 90 and then coming back, that's something. But what I did say to my subscribers is getting a little cautious here. We haven't done anything about it, but we've got, when you're looking at the rotation that I always talk about, and I spoke about it last week, that there's a chance that we're going to start to see a rotation from the real leaders in this particular phase so that it'll ameliorate any downturn. And the downturn, I think, might come from this beautiful bill that's being passed, maybe passed, but at the same time, you've got something like KRE for the very first time. This is the regional bank, S&P regional bank ETF. I've spoken about this for at least a year and a half now, saying we've got to see the regionals start to move, because the economy doesn't mean much if you don't get the local banks. Well, they're not really local. Sure. Some of them are billion-dollar companies, but you want to see that action. And now we're starting to see it. the weekly chart has just broken to a leg B, and that's really the first time we've got that kind of strength. So I'm looking at this rotation going on for subscribers as we're getting into this particular phase. I said, let's not get any new big positions, but we're going to get low price stocks. We were very fortunate. We got one the other day, just a few days ago. It's BBI, Big Bear Holdings. We were very fortunate. We got it at just over 5, and the very next day it sprang to the upside, and it gave us a 15%, and then today we took a little bit off at 28% gain. It's in that leg D. I'm always looking at D, and I say that's where other things can happen. But I think this is a period just at the moment that I'm becoming a lot more selective at what I think is going to move for another I call it a start of another bull market, as some of the real leaders, and I included Microsoft, which went to an all-time high, trading right now down 4, almost 5 points, having hit $500.76 million, still a small position from 388. So I'm saying
amazing, Basil.
It is amazing, and that's leadership, because look at Apple's done nothing, and look, here's Microsoft becoming a leader, and that's this rotation that I'm talking about. That you've got to be very selective now, but at the same time, the market's broadening out in the sense that it's going to areas that were doing nothing, and now they're starting to show some life, and I like that, because I like rotational corrections, because it allows sectors that are overbought to take a breather, and sectors that were oversold to really start to have a decent rally. So I actually like this particular phase, but it is really difficult, because what you want to do is just lock in and say, oh, I'd love to sell everything right now and then start fresh. But you don't want to do that, because you still want to keep your core positions. So it's going to be a challenge, but I love what we've got now. We've managed it well. We were very fortunate the other day to get another low price stock, that's Taseko Mines. Expecting it, if it broke out from the cup formation, it could go a little higher. We're in at 3. It's at 331 right now.
Oof, look at that recently.
Yeah. And that weekly chart is in leg C. So I like the action right now. You've often been talking about the copper stocks, and I think that this is a chance. Just what I'm trying to do now is to put less money to work and try to get as much bang for the buck as possible for subscribers, so they are single-digit, very low-price stocks, and trying to conserve some money. So if we do get this, I need to just show you this for 1 second before I run out of time. If we do get some kind of at least a pullback, then we can start to look at stocks that we would like to add more in that we've already got, like a Robinhood, which has been absolutely fantastic. We have a position from the 16s, and it's already to date hit 99. But this is what we're looking at. This is the XLF in pink. This is the XLF Financial S&P in pink. This is the monthly chart, and this is the SPY in blue. And look how it's coordinated. So each one of these turndowns and rallies have coordinated, and here we are. We've just broken to the upside with new highs, and that, I think, is very important looking out for 2025.
That was great stuff, Basil. And yeah, remarkable when you know, home builders, right? Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams. Pretty interesting, the rotation
Your father used to always say, Sherwin-Williams, America's green.
They need it, man. Basil, thank you so much. We look forward to the program, 10 o'clock tomorrow. Have a great night, Basil.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.